you? How'd you get in here? Hello? I asked you a question. Yo. That's one of those things the old guy from the data center told me about. What? Yeah, man. That little stick you're holding, this?
Short-term memory loops. You're reliving the same 15-second funny moments over and over. Ah, crap. This is almost as bad as that time I was on Family Guy.
Right.
Test results, and it seems
Right
like
on.
a piece of short-term memory loops. You're reliving.
So how'd you do it? What? Yeah, man, that little stick. How'd you get it? I bought it last year for like $25. Yo, dude, that's like dirt cheap. We're gonna get some. You really need to get it out of my house right now. I have no idea who you are. You came out in a burst of light. That's not how physics works. That's not how anything works. Really. I come from the year 2000. I come from the year 208, and the number that comes after 8. And Dave sent me over to collect as many of those sticks so I can get my hands on. So if you're kind enough to hand it over, please. What? No way, dude. Buy your own. Besides, you telling me you come from the future? Hey. Hello? So that's how we're doing. We're in hell, and we don't seem to be getting out anytime soon. I don't want to sound like a fatalist or scare you away. I'm just trying to talk about a subject that upsets me fondly.
Short-form social media has been out there since the 2010s. For the unks like me, you probably remember sites like Vine, Musical.ly, and Snapchat back in 2015, 2016. The truth is,
Short form was not the predominant form of social media in the 2010s. I mean, some people found big success in sites like Vine or Musical.ly, but ended up switching to more conventional sites afterwards, like YouTube or Twitch. Long form
horizontal videos were the standard back then. So much so that even companies like Facebook tried a shot at it. Most of you probably don't remember this, but back in 2018, they released an Instagram feature that allowed users to upload horizontal, long-form videos to their profiles. Logically, this never caught up with the likes of YouTube, and by 2021 they had completely switched their focus towards Instagram Reels and ended up shutting down IGTV for good. But when did short form blow up? Well, with the launch of TikTok in 2016, as well as the rising popularity of sites like Vine and the fact that everybody owned a smartphone by then, short-form mobile-directed content started gaining more and more traction, but it wasn't until 2020 with the COVID pandemic that things blew up disproportionately. People were locked inside their houses globally, and realistically there was only so much you could do at home, so more and more started resorting to their phones for entertainment and comfort. Short-form content excelled in these scenarios because of the way it was designed. A quick, almost instant rush of dopamine to the brain presented in a convenient vertical format, so you wouldn't even have to turn your device around. It sounds like a really good product idea, but it came with harmful consequences to the user. See, the nature of sites like TikTok, which was then adopted by Reels and YouTube Shorts, is to have an infinite scroll function, which is basically an algorithm that loads up another piece of media while you're watching a video, so you can just scroll down and have a new piece of content ready to watch immediately. But have you ever wondered what this does to your brain? Imagine you all of a sudden wake up one day with a strange condition that makes you see everything in vibrant, bright colors. Everything becomes overly exciting. Every color that you used to know is now overdriven by 500%. Anywhere you see, you spot nuance. But after some time, you sort of get used to it. It becomes your reality, and you start searching for more and more bright colors. You are never satisfied. And then one day, your sight is back to normal. Everything feels dull now. Everything feels almost black and white, almost unexciting. You start to become stressed. Nothing seems to fulfill your need for bright colors. You become anxious, you're stressed, you're in physical pain, almost as if you were experiencing withdrawal. Our brain secretes a feel-good hormone called dopamine when we engage in rewarding experiences. It's an evolutionary feature meant for humans to be incentivized to find food, shelter, and ultimately procreate and survive. But the days that our species struggle for survival are all mostly gone. That doesn't mean our brains stop generating dopamine. No, it's still the hormone responsible for you feeling good after nailing a job interview or getting a raise, responsible for you feeling butterflies when you talk to your crush, and also responsible for the feeling you get when someone likes your post. You see where this is going, right? In the modern age of the internet, everybody is sometimes naively seeking for dopamine. Psychiatrist and professor Dr. Anna Lemke said in an interview about her book Dopamine Nation, "Feel-good substances and behaviors increase dopamine release in the brain's reward pathways. The brain responds to this increase by decreasing dopamine transmission, not just back down to its natural baseline rate, but below that baseline. Repeated exposure to the same or similar stimuli ultimately creates a chronic dopamine deficit state, wherein we're less able to experience pleasure." This is as fascinating as it is terrifying. Our brains essentially adapt to the amount of dopamine they receive artificially by reducing the amount they produce naturally. This is not a flaw, it's a feature. It adapts to the environment it lives in. And this is why quitting or reducing the amount of social media consumption can feel like such a burden. And this not only applies to social media, this can also apply to any other online overconsumption of behavior like online shopping, pornography, or gambling. We live in a time where quantity wins over quality almost every time. People just want more, and they want it now. So this logically affects the way we think, the way we learn, the way we understand and process things. The alarming rate in which ChatGPT's user base grew in these last few years perfectly reflects this new need people have for having an excessive amount of information shoved into their brains at light speed constantly. And it wouldn't be so bad if people were actually learning something from this, if these chatbots were actually helping people through their tasks, improving their lifestyles, their mental health. Instead, most people use this to have their essays written for them without them having to think, to ask them, why is this, or grok, is this true, without any second guessing or personal input afterward, blindly believing in what this chatbot spits out, which, oh surprise, it's usually exactly what the user wants to hear. And on top of that, this new info they get is usually never processed because, ironically, the overstimulated brain becomes null, it zombifies. So basically people use AI because they can, because they don't want to miss out on it, because it means they can have more to consume at all times. Why pay or wait for an artist to draw a character you like doing a certain thing? Just ask the DOOMBOT to generate it for you in a matter of seconds. Why go through the hustle of working out to look more fit? Just upload a picture of yourself to DOOMBOT's trusty cloud services and ask it to buff up your muscles. Or even better, if you have a crush on a girl, just take a picture of her, upload it, and ask the bot to generate a picture of you and your buff body kissing her. The fact that AI is still largely unregulated is insane to me. But the focus on this video is on the people. We will tackle the government and the evil corporations in a future video. That sucks. Truth is, people are lonely. Cases of social isolation and alienation have grown immensely over the years, and ever since the pandemic it's gotten way worse. People have resorted to forums and social media to deal with loneliness for decades now. 15 years ago, you can go on Reddit and talk to people, actual people. You could leave a comment on a YouTube video and you know if you got a response, that was an actual human being writing to you. It made sense, I guess. Made you feel a bit less small, a bit less lonely. You can chat with a bot now that will never stop replying to you unless you hit some sort of paywall, but even then you can just change the subject and keep on chatting. People are beginning to humanize chatbots, to give them names. They're treating them like their friends, training them to talk like them, training them to learn their behavioral patterns, their needs, their fantasies. People are falling in love with chatbots. Parasocial relationships are non-reciprocal socio-emotional connections with media figures, such as celebrities, influencers, or fictional characters. On social media, this can promote healthy attitudes and behaviors and lower health-related stigma, but it may also adversely impact mental health through negative self-comparisons. Now, could we say that a person is in a parasocial relationship with a chatbot? Well, we just said that these are non-reciprocal socio-emotional connections, but it's a bit more complicated than that, a bit darker actually, because the interactivity makes the bond feel reciprocal even when it isn't. The connection feels real, but it's asymmetrical, says relationship therapist Marina Demirbast, and then adds, AI companions can be endlessly attentive, never irritable, tailor-made to your preferences. And that's appealing, but it can raise the bar unrealistically high for human relationships, which are naturally messy. If the bot always suits and never confronts, you essentially get an echo chamber that can stunt personal growth and make real-world friction feel unbearable. And the same concept can be applied for people who use chatbots as their therapist. This is a very bad idea and you should not be doing it, because AI is not prepared whatsoever to deal with your mental health issues, and counterintuitively, the fact that these bots are trained on the information that the person's giving away in order to find some help or a safe space to talk can lead to serious damage on this person's perception of reality. Cases of AI-induced psychosis have been reported multiple times across 2025. So if you're struggling with your mental health and you feel like nobody will be able to help you, please talk to a real person. Give real therapy a shot, and another one if it's not working yet. And I know it can be exhausting and it can feel like nothing really works, but I guarantee you using ChatGPT is not the solution. Things can get out of your hands really easily, really fast, and want to take a guess if OpenAI will take any responsibility for the potential damages they could cause you? AI cannot be stopped at this point, and honestly I don't think it needs to. It needs regulations, heavy ones, but we also need to educate people on it, as well as the dangers of compulsive overconsumption and the value of our very own minds. Like, we have the best, most advanced LLM right here, and we're using it less and less every day. Breaks my heart seeing young adults, teenagers, and even kids consume and generate more and more AI content every day without any second thought. And I'm going to sound like a complete boomer now, but kids and teenagers are spending less and less time outdoors than ever before. They are engaging less in social activities like art or sports. They are exercising less. The new youth prefers to lock themselves in their rooms and stare deadly at their screens, while billions of beads of data enter their brains and exit it right as they scroll past a TikTok post. And I believe chatbots are only worsening this youth alienation epidemic. They're essentially enabling it. So yeah, if you're a parent and your kid spends all day on their phone, maybe go check on them. And I know parenting in this dystopian age could feel almost impossible, and even though the situation is bleak, I don't believe all hope is lost. So what can we do? Unfortunately, not much. Pretending a video like this will make everybody rethink their life choices and suddenly become anti-AI is ridiculous, but maybe raising awareness on these topics can help someone question their bad habits. Maybe encourage them to get professional help, to stop feeding the evil corporations with tons of their personal data. Perhaps it can make a parent consider speaking to the child more and keep an eye on them. We're traversing a very dark time for the internet, and the AI bubble will pop eventually, but unfortunately that does not mean everything will get back to normal. It will be a long, hard-working process to restore our humanity, if we ever do get it back, if we still have the energy to fight for it. I'm sorry if this video felt like it was
of it all over the place. I do believe that the huge amount of people using and becoming addicted to social media, especially short form, is deeply connected with the increasing usage of chatbots and AI, which also connects with this alienation epidemic altogether. And these are very sensitive topics that can get really dark really fast. So if some of you were offended by some of the things I said, that was not the intention whatsoever, and I deeply apologize for it. I'd love to read your thoughts on this one in the comments, whether you agree or not, of course. And I believe I have a very broad view on this subject, so I love to read about very specific situations you might have lived or found yourself in. Oh, also I released a song earlier this month, so if you like my music, you can go check it out. I would appreciate it, and I think that'll be all. Take care, and I will be seeing you soon. For real this time.